Good evening, everybody. It's time for another breakdown of the Twitter files. This is not a series I expected to do, but I'm glad I can, and I'm glad that it's happening. Things that are being revealed are absolutely horrible and disgusting, and just prove that we were right about Twitter all along, and have been for years, and have been sounding the alarm about censorship for a long time. But now finally people are paying attention, waking up, opening their eyes, and I'm glad that we can get together and talk about how important that is. Part 3 dropped last night from Matt Taibbi. Part 4 dropped tonight from Michael Shellenberger. If you recall, Part 1 of the Twitter files talked about the Hunter Biden story and how it was censored. Part 2 talked about shadow banning, and then Part 3 and 4, of course, and 5, which will come tomorrow, we'll talk about that, is the removal of Donald Trump. So I'm just going to talk about some of the key things and what it means for us as American citizens. First off, according to Matt Taibbi from Twitter, employees clearly understood how major the Trump ban was. They said, is this the first time that we have banned a sitting leader? And that the answer, of course, was yes, which is really an amazing and horrible statement in of itself, because you've got leaders of the Taliban on Twitter and leaders of ISIS, and the first major world leader to be kicked off was Donald Trump, which is just absolutely disgusting. After the employees got away with the removal of Donald Trump, they realized that they had this new control, this power. They said, well, we got away with removing the President of the United States from our platform. That, in a sense, makes us more powerful than the president. I'm going to quote his tweet right here in the thread. He said, as soon as they finished banning Trump, Twitter execs started processing new power. They prepared to ban future presidents and White Houses, perhaps even Joe Biden. The new administration, says one exec, will not be suspended by Twitter unless absolutely necessary. So they said, we ban Trump. That means we can ban whoever goes against our agenda. If Biden falters from our far left plans, we can kick him off. We can do whatever we want now. So Twitter had actually begun to censor and place little restrictions on Trump's account for months leading up to the election, as Trump expressed his concerns about the election. Yoel Roth, the leader who's turning out to be the major supervillain in this story, one of them, said at the time, he said, well, I hate what he's saying and I think he's horrible, but technically these are factually accurate, so we cannot kick him off for being factually accurate. And they put those little warnings, little bubbles on Trump's tweets, and that's how that began. Once they got away with that and started sharing that, time went on. And Yoel Roth, this is key, this is a major detail. Yoel Roth met weekly, according to the Twitter files Part 3 and the private messages that have been released to the public that you can go read for yourself. Yoel Roth met weekly with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. That means that you had multiple branches of the government, the FBI, the DHS, and the DNI, working together against Trump through Twitter. So Twitter is definitely the big bad in this story. But you know who else is? The FBI, the DHS, and the DNI. Just as bad. Used it like a tool. And Twitter went along with it because they said, hey, you can use this fine if that leads to us being able to censor Trump because we hate him. And that, it was like a two-way relationship. So the FBI would report Trump's tweets that they wanted removed, as we talked about happening in the first Twitter files. They'd say, oh, Trump said some stuff here that we don't like, and they'd send it to Yoel Roth and the censorship team at Twitter, content moderation team, as they like to call themselves, and they'd say, we want to get rid of this, and the Twitter staff would do it, or they'd put some warnings. Because censoring the President of the United States, even to them who don't care about free speech at all, they realized that was a big deal, and they were hesitant to do it fully. So it took them a while. And then January 6th happened. And when that happened, the liberal employees at Twitter saw that as a massive opportunity, and they jumped on it. They said, fine, we can go and we can take this and we can run with this and we can try to use it to get rid of Trump completely. That was where Part 3 ended last night. That was where Part 4 began tonight from Michael Shellenberger.